It's that time of day again. Time of day? That time of week? It's that time again. Let's see. What the hell? Where's my button? There it is. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Window Tinting Business, where we strive to inform, inspire, and improve you as a professional. As always, my name is Patrick, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Now, if you're interested in window tinting as a side job to improve your current skills or as a full-on career, start right now by subscribing to the channel. Make sure to hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever we go live or upload new videos as well. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Tuesday night live stream, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's what we do, baby. It's what we do. I'm feeling real pumped. You know, I feel like I'm falling into a good groove. You know, where there's some sort of format. You know, sometimes you go one path and then it feels stale, and then you don't want to do it. Then maybe you get kind of revitalized and stuff. So I'm feeling real good. Atomic Adam Green, yeah. Wait, Atomic Tint, excuse me. Adam Green, what's going on? 904. I know I had a little software issue. Yeah, if you notice, my timers usually start like 5-6 minutes, and it came in at like 4:30, right? That was just me messing with software and whatnot here. So, Ray, what's going on? Welcome, brother. Welcome. Everyone else that's in the live stream, I see we got about a dozen people in here. Welcome, guys. We're gonna have some people trickling in from Facebook and the YouTube channel and the notification squad and whatnot. So, we'll address and say hi as we go along. So if this is your first time here with the Tuesday night live streams, we basically go over a lot of the questions that you guys might have on YouTube, on the Facebook group that we have, Window Tinting Business as well, and then I go ahead and take on other questions that you guys have for me live. What is going on? Mike Powell in the house, baby, one of the moderators of the channel, and my dude, my road dog, Mike Powell. He's awesome. He's got some good news too that we're going to bring up in just a little bit as well. So before we get started, let's go ahead and take care of some business before we get started here. I want to give our huge shout out to our sponsors here for the channel, for the live stream. They help move this all along, baby. It really does help maintain all this, right? So this live stream is sponsored in part by Tint Wiz. Tint Wiz is a CRM suite designed for window tinters, from acquisition to invoicing and everywhere in between. If you're looking to improve your business, be more efficient and more profitable, I think Tint Wiz is the way to go. Check them out. You can go ahead and don't forget your free 30-day trial at tintwiz.com. Check them out, and you can also download them on iOS, Android, coming soon. So thank you to them. Also, this live stream is sponsored in part by Dry Shrink Prep. Dry Shrink Prep is the new healthy alternative to dryer sheets. This Dry Shrink Prep is it's handcrafted with all natural ingredients. Basically, we're looking to improve the industry one shrink at a time. You know, I had that line a little bit better earlier, but when you're live, sometimes it gets jumbled up. It'll get cleaner. Don't you worry about that. And last but not least, I'm going to say the sponsors are you guys. So through Super Chat, through the power of Super Chat, and also through, if you're looking at the description, the first line in the description is a link that you can tip as well. You guys are very supportive. Yeah, you guys, there's a lot of you guys that Super Chat me all the time, and we definitely do appreciate you guys for doing that as well, helping the train keep rolling, baby. As we say, all proceeds go help support the channel. We don't make a lot of money on the YouTube channel. We barely make money on the YouTube channel, but I reinvest everything back into the YouTube channel. So if you saw, the live streams actually started almost 2 years ago, which is crazy, right? And I started with an iPhone on a desk with like lamps, and I'll tell you what, we've come far. I mean, we've come a long way from where we started. So, and that's, you know, that's help to you guys, the sponsors, all the supporters of the channel, and everyone else like that. So definitely appreciate that. Okay, so like I said, you guys can hear me, right? Yeah. Okay. Double checking. Hold on. Before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and get a little sippy sip here. The old lady finally got me some decaf because I've been drinking leaded for like every time you see me do live streams since I've come back, I've been drinking leaded, and then I'm up until like 1 in the morning. So I just like a hot cup, and a hot beverage is always good for me. If you guys can't tell, got a haircut, right? Right? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Here's the thing. I'm fixing to be 36 next year, right? I don't think I mentioned this. I might have mentioned this. Who knows? But I'm fixing to be 36 next year in March, right? So that's close to the 40 than 30, right? So I just felt like the Frohawk. I just been rocking that for so long that like I needed like a proper gentleman, you know, middle age haircut. I don't know. I feel like this is the way. This is the path, I think. So I hope you guys like it, because I'm pretty sure it's going to stay this way. I don't think I'm going to shave my head. I got this weird shaped head, and I don't like growing my hair out because I look like a dang wildebeest. So yeah, there's that. Okay, guys. So the way this is going to work, I am going to go ahead and Washington, Korea, Washington. Dub. What's going on, brother? Okay, so I do have some questions that I've pulled throughout the week, and that's what I've been doing. You know, I've been pulling questions throughout the week from the YouTube channel and also from the Window Tinting Business Group on Facebook as well. So I'm going to be going through those as we're building up the audience here. And if you guys had any questions, concerns, shout outs, criticisms, now is the time to type it into the comment section, and I'll go ahead and answer those questions as we're going through here as well. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get going. The more the merrier. Let me see here. Okay. Now I've seen a bunch of these questions. I mean, obviously I saved them and I brought them up, but I haven't like really I know that like it was a question that I wanted to see, but then like that was kind of it. I didn't really give it any more thought. So I'm literally like just tossing it off the top of my head here as we're going through these questions. So first one. He says, from Jimmy Birch, beginner here, I'm looking at films, trying to find some film that's cheap enough. If I mess up, it's not a big deal, but good enough that if it goes on good, I can leave it on. Any suggestions? Yeah, this is definitely a new to the industry question for sure, right? Because you don't want to waste money, but then you don't want to give, I don't want to say the word cheap because I hate using the word cheap, but affordable, super affordable product for a client as well. If this is the case, I'd probably say off the top of my head, I would probably go with, you can go with Max Pro. Okay. And I never want to say anything negative, right? This is not what this channel and this whole thing is all about, right? But Max Pro doesn't have the greatest reputation for long-term, right? All films, it doesn't matter what it is, all films are going to eventually crash and burn. I don't care who you are. You know, Florida is where a good film goes to die. I've seen Lumar Pinnacle go out in 3 years, and that's supposed to be top of the line. So take this with a grain of salt. I would go with Max Pro. It's what I started with. It's the first film that I started with, and they're affordable, right? They're at 43 cents a square foot for your dyed films. It's a good entry level film. You can get in. It's good to use. The only problem that I found with it is that it doesn't hold on to a good hardcore shrink. Like, you're not shrinking any C6s, no Beetles, nothing with too crazy like Crown Vics, Grand Marquis. You're not going to be shrinking those windows with this film. Unfortunately, I've come to find and learn that it just heat creases and melts, and it just doesn't hold, unfortunately. But at 43 cents a square foot, that's a good price point. And the film is all right. I mean, I probably wouldn't give too much of a long warranty. I might give it a year, you know, because I've seen that film fade to purple. Yeah, so I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I know it because I've worked with it, right? So one step up from there, if you're looking to spend a little bit more money, excuse me. If you're looking to spend a little bit more money, then I would suggest Johnson. Johnson's a good film. You're looking at their Marathon line, which is a hybrid metallized dyed film. Their metallized dyed film, and this was a few years ago, keep in mind, but it was right around 67 cents a square foot. I know across the board, Manny's upped their prices about a year and a half ago, last Christmas. They upped it like 4 cents, right? So it might be 70 cents a square foot now or something close to that. But at my time, it was 67 cents a square foot. And I loved Johnson. Johnson can hold the shrink. Crown Vics, Beetles, Corvettes, you name it, baby. It's a little bit, I feel like it's and it's not, because I know it's 1.5 mil, but I feel like it's a little bit of a thicker film, but it's not. It just takes a little bit longer to heat up, but it can hold, and it won't heat crease and won't melt on you. So yeah, I think those are going to be the two options that I think would be best. I gotta keep jumping back and forth, checking my chat and whatnot. Cole, what's going on, brother? Welcome. Mike Powell saying, just a huge shout out from all you, for all of you for, wow, I can't read today. Hold on. Just a huge shout out for all you do for the industry. Oh, he's talking to me. I thought he was talking like everyone else. Oh, brother. Man, I'm just a squirrel just trying to get a nut. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. Like, I have been, and I don't want to turn this like into me, right? But like, I've been like a tint nerd for like as long as I got into the industry. The second I found out a video, when I watched videos from Ralph and Matt back in the day, like, well, not back in the day, it was like 4 years ago, whatever, 5 years ago. Since then, I jumped in and I loved it. And like, I'm a freak when it comes to tint. I mean, I work at a tint shop. I make tint videos. I spend my extra time doing live stream videos for tinters, breaking out into the automotive aftermarket industry. It's just something that I really love to do. And sometimes you just like, I just get lost in it, right? I don't try to look at the numbers too much, how many subs I have, how many people are watching, how many people are talking, whatever. I don't care if there's 10 people, 110 people, it is what it is. I feel a passion for it, right? But it's weird is that, that as I've progressed through the industry, I've started to see like the real people that have heart, like Mike Powell. He's my road dog, you know what I mean? I met him 2 years ago. Robert Oman, him and I go way back as well. The first time I hung out with Mike, we were supposed to be hanging out with Robert, and I was like, God, please don't be a freaking weirdo, you know what I mean? Because we're gonna be spending all weekend together. But you know, Mike just wants to make the industry better, and Robert wants to make the industry better, and then like those are hard to find, you know. And then like you know, and then you have guys like Eric from Tint Wiz and Jay from Tri-Edge. Like, Eric's been doing these Tuesday live streams. Now he's doing Tuesday and Thursdays at 7. By the way, if you guys aren't watching that, get on Facebook and check out Tint Wiz, and they do Tint Wisdom on Tuesdays. And I think they're doing if I have it right, that they're doing interviews on Thursdays, which is awesome, really, really awesome. So it's motivating to find people and see people in the industry that feel the same way I do. Because sometimes you know you're running, and sometimes you're like, God, does anyone even care? Like, am I just wasting my time? Am I like crazy and just talking to a wall? But no, because you start collabing with these other guys in the industry that really care about the industry and want to improve it. And it's like, it's crazy, the chemistry that you can feel, that you can, it feels like you can get a lot of you could change the industry if you really wanted to. So Mike, thank you to you, because you're a motivator to me. Eric, Jay, Robert, anyone else I didn't miss, Jordan from Fusion, God, anyone else and everyone else, I love y'all. Let me see. Johnson, $1.07 per square. Is that the ceramic, Ray? When I was using the Marathon line. Now, if they're up $1.70 a square foot, that's crazy, because that's more than Lumar. I hope that's not the case. All right, moving on to more questions. I want to make sure I'm going the right direction, because I'm actually like in my Facebook Messenger thing. I sent these pictures to myself. I want to make sure that I'm showing the right stuff here. There we go. Question. This question was from the YouTube channel, from the comments here, and this was pertaining to the how to remove old tint and adhesive video that I did recently. I think it was a charger that we were doing. It says from Danny Dominguez a couple weeks ago. It says, just my opinion, but isn't a heat gun more efficient to use in these scenarios? As a startup tint business owner, I would like to look more professional than using a trash bag. Thoughts? Okay, I can totally see the perception. You're like, oh, what am I doing with trash bags? Like, I get it. I totally get it, right? I would say no. For me, no. And it's situational, right? But a heat gun is not more efficient because I live in Florida, right? I just need sun and heat. And so if I can throw a trash bag in there and back it up into the sun, I don't have to do anything. Now, during the winter time, for those of you guys that are north, that have the cold weather, that it's like 20 degrees outside, that's pretty much your only option. You can bag it, you can hit the trash bag, and then you can hit it with a heat gun. I actually have to hit it with 2 heat guns. It takes still about 20 minutes to heat up the glass fully, but it's not more efficient than sitting, because I can send that car out into the sun and let it do its thing for 20 minutes while I'm doing something else. Maybe I'm sweating the whole car, so while that's sweating, I'm gonna go into the office and set up the plotter, and I'm gonna cut all the film for that vehicle and get it ready, put it on my boards, and get it ready so that when I do peel that film off and I roll that car back into the shop, boom, 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 I'm ready to rock. You know what I'm saying? In regards to trash bag and looking professional, here's the thing. If I had a really horrible removal to be done, and you brought out, I don't know, let's see, I don't know why I found this. Like, let's say you brought out like some little necklace, right, and a little string, and you did some voodoo and did a dance and did a backflip, and all of a sudden the window was clean and the film was removed and my defrosters weren't damaged. I don't care how the hell you did it, as long as if that's the end result, then that's really all that matters, right? Like, it doesn't matter what you're using as long as the result is the result that you're looking for. And with the trash bag method, I found that because it's black, it attracts the heat more. Like if you're wearing a black shirt out in the summertime, right? Black attracts more heat, and you're gonna feel hotter in black. So that's why I use black trash bags. Is it necessary? No. Can you use liners, clear liners? Yeah, I have used clear liners, but is black trash bags is something I've learned to do with. And the only thing I switched from is, before I used to use 409 or like Awesome or some sort of degreaser, and now I just use straight water. It doesn't need to have a degreaser. I use a degreaser if I use something like Purple Power after the film is off, is if the adhesive was left on there, then that's what I'll use it for. But now I don't even need it. I just use water. So that's my thoughts, my 2 cents on that one. I gotta like switch back from questions to like the chat, questions to the chat. So bear with me. Hold on. I'll put the music up a little bit louder. I did that last time. Shoot, I don't want it too loud, right? But I want something in the background. And I lowered it down all the way for the intros, and then I kept it down the whole day. I mean, the whole stream. Whoa, we got 20 people in here. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the live stream. Subscribe to the channel. All right, questions here. Steamer. Wait. Mil. Oh, 1.7 mil. Oh, I knew it was thicker. Ray, my man. Okay, so yeah, most films, most 2-ply films are 1.5 mil, and Ray says that Johnson's is 1.7. See, I knew it was slightly thicker, which 0.2 is like nothing, right? But I don't know. I swear to God, I can feel it. I swear. Anyways, bag it and put it in the sun, or heating blanket on high works for me. Oh, heating blanket, bro. That's a good one. I like that one. Heating blanket. Okay, cool. Is the heating blanket on the outside or the inside? I'm assuming the outside, right? I hope. I don't know. But I like that. I like that. Cole says, do you know how big that room is where the plotter is set up at your work? I'm building a room in my shop for plotter and printer, just trying to compare for spacing. It's tiny. Tiny. It might be... I have like 25 boxes of film back there, 30, 40 boxes of film, plus my desk, plus another desk, plus the plotter. So it's more, but I think it might be 10 by 10. Like this room is not a big, my studio's in a closet, but that doesn't matter. Anyways, this was like a 6 by 6, and I can set up a plotter. The only thing is you got to keep in mind what kind of plotter. And Eric from Tint Wiz, I was just watching Tint Wisdom a little bit ago, just, you know, at 7 o'clock earlier. I like to watch it and before I get my thing going. And he brought up a great point. If you get a 60-inch plotter, that opens up the possibility for a number of different things. PPF, wide angle PPF, back windows for Tesla Model 3s, deco films, large vinyl, custom vinyl cutouts, things of that nature. I love that. I love that idea. I never really thought about it. It might, like he said, it might be a little bit more money up front, but it'll pay back in spades in the availability of what it can do for you and for your business. But just keep in mind with ow, I gotta like reset here. Just keep in mind with what kind of size your plotter is, right? So you have to be just as obviously big enough for a plotter, but I've seen people put a plotter and a computer in the back of a van, bro, for real, like minivan kind. Like the guy's on his knees, like rolling film. So you'd be surprised how much little room, or how little room you would actually need. So, looking for quickness always. Yeah, I like steamers, but the problem is I don't work with steamers too often. I might do it during the summertime, but I mean during the wintertime, but not during the summer. My shop is not AC controlled, temperature controlled, and it's hot during the summer. When it's outside and it's 110 outside, it's probably 10 degrees hotter inside. It's not uncommon to be about 115 in my shop. I'm sweating my ass off. So, and the boiling point of water is 212 degrees, which means that's almost double what it is currently, and I'm already dying, right? I don't want to put more heat in there for me. So for me, it's not really a path I want to go. Could I do it? Yeah, but am I gonna do it? Probably not, because I don't want to die. Tint Pro says, Steamy Buddy, steamers is the kind I never do trash bags at all. Totally understandable. And that's the beautiful thing about window tinting, baby. My methods may not work, right? Here, they might not work up north, and different, you know, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. So you just always want to be open-minded, right? I never want to think in myself like this is my way and this is the only way and this is how it should be done, because when you think like that, you're smoked already, right? You always want to be open to because I don't know everything, right? Now I'll never know everything because there's always new things coming out and about. So if someone shows me something, I'll try it. I'll weigh my options, maybe try it and see if I like it. Maybe it's better than my current process. But my process works for me, and you gotta see what works for you and what you're willing to deal with. Like I said, I'm not gonna deal with a steamer because I'm dying during the summer on average. So it's just really uncomfortable for me. It may not be like that for you. So it is what it is. So yeah. Trash bag is old school. That's right, baby. That's right. It might be old school. You might be. But I mean, sweating. I like sweating. Here's the thing. Like I said, when I sweat, whether it's trash bag, whether it's a liner, I can throw it in there, put it out in the sun, and I can go do stuff. Versus standing there with a steamer. You know what I mean? That's like you have to be there. You have to monitor it. But like with a trash bag, I can throw it out in the sun and go do stuff while that's doing its thing. And it usually comes off clean, and usually comes off with no film. I mean, with no adhesive. So that's the way I like it, baby. Price it so high it goes down the street, Robin says. Yeah, you know what? What I do is I just price it right. Here's the thing. Window film that's 1 to 5 years old, it's gravy, baby. It's mostly going to come off. It's not going to flake on you. You might have a little bit of adhesive, but no worries. Once you get over 7 years, that's when it starts to flake, falls apart. You know, you're going to have to get the scraper out. When that's the case, I just charge a lot more. You know, I probably charge let's say 150 for the first 1 to 5 years. 6 to 10 years, I'll charge 300, and over 11 years, I'll charge $450. And the reason why is that the older cars, most likely, and I go off by the year of the car, but most likely those cars are, it's going to take longer. I'm going to have to scrape them. I'm going to spend more time on them, and I want to get paid for that. Now, if it's an 11-year-old car and I charge them $450 and it just miraculously comes off, it holds on together and it comes off like butter in the first 5 seconds, I'll charge them $150. I'm not going to charge them more for easy work. Is, you know, it's, if it comes off easier, I'm not going to charge you, but I'm going to cover my ass just in case it does take me a while. Yo, Tint Wiz in the house. What's up? What's up? Welcome. Cole says, I missed your stream earlier. Don't worry, it's shame on you, Cole. How do I block you? Make sure to check out Tint Wisdom. All right, moving on. Questions. We've been going 30 minutes. It's only been 2 questions. Like this, I gotta move forward with this. I gotta move forward. Let's see here. Bing, 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 bing. Okay. Okay, here's a question here. It's from Tinting. Blinderingen. How many meters or feet of film is needed for a small 3-door car, 5-door sedan, 5-door car, sedan, 5 windows, etc.? Does anyone write this down over the days, or is just full for average sizes? Rule for average sizes. So your average sedan is going to take about 30 to 33 square feet, which is roughly 10 to 11 feet off the roll, right? Because you have usually it's like 36 or 40 inches wide, and you're gonna get that. So that's a good average, I'd say, right there. With a sedan, you're roughly gonna be right around there, maybe a scotch less, because you could probably cut the quarters out with the front windows in that space from the front window, because it dips. You could probably use that, so you could probably charge them a little bit less. Here's my thing, I never charge differently for 2-door, 4-door prices. For some crazy reason, the shop I work for still has a 2-door, 4-door price. The problem is you might use less material, right? But I feel that a 2-door car is more labor intensive. I am damn near 6'2", 200 pounds. So you know what I mean? I'm not a little guy. So when I have to bring my ass into the back seat of like a Camaro or a Corvette, or not a Corvette because they're not 4-seat, they're not back seats, or a Porsche or something like that, like it's more labor intensive to lay that film, especially for something like in the back window. So that's why I charge the same price for 2-door or 4-door, because like I said, the 2-door might have less film, but it's more labor intensive to install for me personally. So, and then I'd probably charge, crossovers are roughly the same material, because I know they have those small quarters, like smaller quarters, but you can get that out of the back window because the back window is so much smaller. So realistically, you're not using a lot more film there. The only thing you'd have to be weary about is like full-size SUVs. Big difference between crossover, full-size SUV. Full-size SUV, you're talking the Yukons, long or regular Yukon, because like a Yukon's got the front window, got the back window, got the quarter, then got the big quarter, and then got the back window. And if that's the case, you want to charge a little bit more for that, because you're using more material, and it's obviously a little bit more labor intensive as well. I don't know off the top of my head how much more, but I would probably say another 3 feet. So 3 and 3, another 9 square feet. So whatever your price point is, I'd probably charge roughly 25% more. Ballpark. Yeah, right around there. Y'all chatting it up in here, baby. Y'all chatting it up. Okay, so some people are talking in the chat that that your software will tell you the square footage. And it might be different for others, but I know for me, like my plotter software, if I pull it up on the plotter, it'll tell me the exact square footage. But the caveat to that is that it'll give you the square footage of the amount of film used, right? So let's say I have a 2 foot by 1 foot, right? So it's well that's 2 square feet, right? So if I have a 2 foot by 1 foot piece of film and I cut a window out of that, that window itself will be like, I don't know, 1.75 square feet, but I actually used, you know, 2 square feet because here. So my plotter software accounts for the amount of film used in the cutout, not the total amount of film used. So I usually, how I do it, I have to multiply the width of the film that I'm using by how much it comes out. And then when I multiply those two, then I divide it by 144, and that gives me the square footage of amount actually used. So just keep that in mind as well. Keep that in mind as well. Rifling down here. This one's from the YouTube channel. It says, this one's from like how to bottom load, the how to bottom load video. It says, why don't you shrink when bottom loading? That's kind of a, that's a valid question. When you shrink, when you don't shrink when bottom loading, for me particularly, is that I'm able to spread the film out a lot more evenly from the center out. And that reduces the amount of fingers that you would have at the very bottom. Now, if you're top loading and not bottom loading, traditionally you're gonna attack the top, and then you're gonna attack the bottom, right? Hence 2-stage or top loading, right? So think of like a horseshoe, right? If you tighten up the top and then you tighten up the sides, you're bringing all that excess film inwards, which results in fingers. So that's why you have to shrink, so you can eliminate those fingers. So, but you're literally squeegeeing like this, bringing all the film in, and then you have fingers. But when you bottom load, you don't hard squeegee like this. You come basically from the inside out, eliminating finger spreading. Instead of having fingers on the bottom, you have it spread out more evenly across the board, and results in no fingers most of the time. There are some Honda Accords, even in bottom loading, you still have to shrink them. So there are certain cars, all sedans, all coupes, like 99, except for a Camaro. So a version of a Camaro and a version of a Mustang. I can't remember. The new Camaros right now, you don't have to shrink. And then I think the 2014 Mustang, you don't have to shrink the doors. That's the only ones I know of. Bing, 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 bing. Moving on with these questions.
What a feeling, now it's time for Christmas. And Christmas is my favorite time of year. It's beginning to look like all.
Okay, here we go. This one was a good one. This one's a good one by Brian Shaw. It says, I got a huge question. I tinted a car for an employee's brother. Tint job was great until he put the car seat in and scratched the tint. Okay, so he was doing it for an employee's brother. So one of his employees is brother. Okay, cool. The job was great until he put the seat in and scratched the tint. Because this was for a guy I work with, brother, I said I would redo it for him. Well, I couldn't make it out to redo it, so he had his brother fix it for him. Well, here it is about 4 months later, and he's saying he wants a refund because there's tiny specks here and there. It was tinted in his garage at his house, and we all know we can't control the outside elements. That's what I'm getting. What I'm getting at is, should I have to do a refund? I don't do this as a business. I did it as a favor. Thanks for your input. Just to let you guys know, for those of you guys that are watching, I'm horrible at reading. If you couldn't tell by me reading that, like, I am not going to be a narrator for like children's books or anything anytime soon by any means. Like, I read like a 3rd grader, so sorry, you're gonna have to deal with that. So basically, in a nutshell, this guy does a solid for an employee's brother or employee's relative. Now, I don't think the word employee is correct. I feel like he's like coworker might be the better word, because here it says, because here in the second line it says, because this was for a guy I work with, brother. So if he works with him, he's not an employee. He might be an employee of the company, but he's a co-worker here. For 400 millions. Thank you for the sub, brother. Appreciate it. Welcome. Welcome to the craziness, brother. Okay, so it sounds like basically he did a solid for one of his co-workers' brothers, and the install was fine, except for he scratched the film when he was installing the car seat, and he couldn't fix it, and then his brother did it 4 months later, and he wants a refund because there's trash in there. Now, it doesn't specifically say if it was trash from the redo that he didn't do, or was it from the install. It was a mobile job, things of that nature. Should he do a refund? So there's a lot of elements that are going on within this question. So I would say off the you know, just from my gut here, I didn't do this as a business, I did it as a favor. See right there, I probably would not give a refund, right? You tinted all the cars. Here's the thing, if you were running your own side business and this was your business, Brian Shaw Tinting, then I would probably give him a refund, because the backlash of that guy going online and like just destroying you on like Yelp and Google is like a real thing. Like, people are dicks about that, right? So it's better to pay him off, because it'll cost you in the long run for a bad review. Because we all know that bad reviews happen, and they happen from like disgruntled employees or just people that are just miserable bastards in life, right? And you can't control that, and we all understand that. But when other people are doing reviews and they're like, oh, this guy got screwed from this guy, I'm not there, you know what I mean? People are real quick to believe everything online. So like I said, it's easy to just pay him off. But here's the thing, you were doing him a solid by redoing that one window, because you didn't have to. He did the damage. I would have charged him for removal, replacement, and I probably would have charged him a travel fee if I'm going to be doing mobile. You did do mobile. Now, it doesn't clarify whether it was, he's saying that he wants a refund because there's tiny specks here and there. It doesn't specify if it was in the one window that the brother replaced it, or was it in the whole job. Here, sometimes you have to have realistic expectations with your clients. You have to let clients know that window tinting is a handcrafted art that is not a perfect thing, right? We're not in a manufacturing facility cranking out radios, right? Radio components, one after the other in a sterile, controlled environment. You know, even if you were in a clean room, your car wouldn't be clean. So there's a lot of variables. I tell people 97%. That's what you're gonna get with me. If you want 100%, then you better kick rocks, because the guys that are like, I want it perfect, make sure it's perfect, like, don't even deal with those folks, or have a real conversation right there and then. I stop people. I'm like, yo, this is the realization of window tint. It's not a perfect thing. There are gonna be specks here and there. Now, if you have a fat hair, a fat crease, I mean, that is unacceptable. But if you have the tiniest of like a skin particle, the kind of land that, you know, a little bit of felt, like one piece of felt, that's considered within the realm of acceptable within the industry. So this is a bad situation. You have to understand too, if you're going to be mobile tinting, you're probably going to let people know that. You want to let people understand and let people know of what they're getting into. I try my very best to give full disclosure up front. Like I said, if someone says do a perfect job or do 100%, like, I stop them right there and then, and we have a conversation. Because if they don't understand realistic expectations, I don't even do the work. I will not do the work, because they're going to end up being a pain in the ass. And then I'm going to end up redoing the car 3 times. I'm going to end up going through material, wasted man hours, and then at the end of the day, I'm going to end up giving him his money back. So it's not even worth it. So nip it in the butt from the beginning. I think, but like, you're not doing this as a business. You did this on the side and as a favor. If that was the case, I mean, you pretty much did your due diligence, and I think that's good enough. If that was the case and you're just doing it on the side as a favor, I'd probably leave it at that. Like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Me is I don't like drama, right? Because then I got to deal with him. I got to deal with my coworker talking about my brother won't shut up about you giving money back, blah blah blah. That's just like not even worth it. Maybe don't do work for friends. I don't know. That was a hard one. I'd probably just pay it off just so I didn't have to deal with it. Yeah. Oh. Jesus Hernandez says, love the haircut, no more headbands. Maybe, who knows? Bum, bum, bum. All right, moving on. Moving on. Moving on. I'm just listening to the holiday music. I love the holiday times. I love the holiday times. Okay, so just to let you guys know, remember I had that announcement a few weeks back saying that the window tinting business, the name of the channel is going to be transitioning more to a personal brand. It's going to say Patrick Latman, which is my name. That probably is going to be taking place the week of Christmas. Like, I work 6 days a week, and on the 7th day, I don't rest. I do family stuff, and I run around. I do stuff on the side, and I don't stop. So I am actually off for the week of Christmas, and that's probably going to take care of a bunch of things that need to be taken care of. But just a quick heads up, just to let you know, the time is coming. Tropical Shade Tinting, what's going on? Welcome to the live stream, brother. Welcome. Just answering some questions here. If you guys have any questions, concerns, shout outs, now is the time. Go ahead and ask. Go ahead and ask. Oh yeah, here's a good one. Next one, Sylvia Mendez. Sylvia Mendez is a girl that not a girl, I dealt with her when I first started. She sold Max Pro, and she was amazing. And she was located on the West Coast, and she was trying to talk me into talking to someone, because I was in Alabama at the time. She was trying to talk me to talk to someone in that took care of the East Coast, and I didn't want to. I wanted to talk to Sylvia because she was a sweetheart. She was awesome at what she did. And she left. She was a sales rep, and then she left Max Pro to go to Flexi Shield, and then she just recently went to Global, which I am totally stoked about this, because Global is a very interesting player for me. Like I find them very interesting. They manufacture their own film. They're out of India by a company named Gawari. It's just one and the same, but their film is good. A lot of Reboxers go through Global. If you do your research, you might find out who your true manufacturer is. But yeah, if you guys ever had any questions, you guys are looking towards Global and stuff, get a hold of Sylvia Mendez. Check her out on Facebook. She is amazing. If you had questions, concerns, like, she'll bend over backwards. She's top notch. She's one of those people with heart that I was telling you about before. So make sure to check her out if you guys are interested in that. That was just some up and coming news that I saw this week that changed. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, here's one. Here we go. This one's from Christina Rodriguez. Let's see here. New member of the group. She says, thank you for the ad. So happy to have found this group. I'm a newbie in the flat glass industry. Tips on those darn corners? Man, getting that nice clean cut on the edges is rough. I've been reviewing a lot of posts in this group already. Awesome stuff. Good. I'm glad. Good. I'm glad that she's learning. Yeah. I think one of the better videos that I've had is the YouTube video that I go to not live streams. I go to flat glass gigs from time to time, and when I do, I'm usually the workhorse. I don't actually really do. I don't do flat glass for the company I work for. I mean, I'll run around and help out a little bit and do little jobs here and there, but I don't. I mean, these guys are doing like double security with glaze on both sides of like Winn-Dixies and all, I mean, legit stuff. So I'm gonna show you a video. And one particular one, she had a question about corners. Hold on. I'm gonna lower the music down until the ads go through, and then we're gonna go ahead and look at this. All right. Okay, so this is my boy Alejandro, and he's gonna install this window right here. But we were talking about corners, and is there any? Did I mute it? No. Why can't I hear anything? Can you guys hear that? There it is. So he's just cleaning up the edges right here. This video was just like kind of like on the fly, but this is what they do, what flat glass guys do differently, especially when cutting the corners. He's gonna notch the corners here, and that's really gonna help you with being able to lay those corners down. There's really no secret, to be honest. I mean, you just want to get those edges when you're coming up and down the edges. You want to get as close as possible, but you just gotta ride that line straight. A lot of prep in flat glass, but let me bring up to the 3 meter. You should have. So okay, look, hold on, watch this drop. People went nuts about this drop. This is a drop technique, so you're able to do this with flat glass. Watch this. Ready for it? Ready for it? Bam. Unrolled. Liner out. So at this point here, he's flushing out the top right here. So this is going to be flush against the edge, and then he's overlaying this side, the bottom edge, and the right side. He's going to tack it down with a hard card, just so it doesn't move on him. And then he's going to work down in like a T. But what I want to show you here is when he cuts the corners. So he's going to tack the top so it doesn't move. He's going to tack the middle. Boom, stop. Now we didn't go all the way to the edge. But watch right here. He's going to take these corners and he's going to nip it at a 45-degree angle. He does this, notice this sill that's probably an inch in, maybe a little bit more, right? So if you don't notch that corner, when you try to put film into that corner cleanly, it's just going to bunch on you, and it's going to look horrible. So 45 degrees on the corner here, and it's going to be able to lay that film right into the corner nice and tight. Watch. 45 notch, push. 45 notch, push, boom. That might have been a little bit fast, but look, he notched that at a 45, pushed it in. Look, that's gorgeous right there. You can't get any closer to that corner than right there. And then now you can cut a straight line right down there and not messing up these corners. That's the trick. But I mean, watch how quickly he cuts. I mean, granted, Al's been cutting flat glass for 15 years. Right, but he's got a couple clicks out, and he's just a straight line, and he's running it with the frame of the door. Excuse me. In flat glass, sometimes you get like the sliverest of light gaps, but barely noticeable. Very, very small sliver. Auto, you typically don't get light gaps, but we have the luxury of either hiding it behind pillars or ceramic black coatings, the dot matrix, things of that nature. We can't have light gaps because we have the ability to hide those. With flat glass, it's a little bit different. So let me rewind here. Watch these quarters. Watch these corners, and then just watch them trim it. It's nothing too crazy. Don't overthink it. 45. Put it in. 45. Put it in. Trim that bottom. Look at that. Bam. Nice. Get up at the top. Straight. Bam. Beautiful. Last one. Just so you know, look how the low angle of his blade, right? Look how low. The back end of this blade is super low from here. The back end isn't way up here. Way up here means you're going to put pressure on the very, very, very tip. Low angle here. Look, the back end of the blade is very close to the glass, right? His fingers are damn near scraping the glass. That's good because it's going to put less pressure, so you're not going to score the glass. And he's straight. He's not going like in the 45-degree angle or anything like that. He's straight parallel with the frame. Beautiful. Look at that. And since we've taken it this far, we'll go ahead and watch him squeegee out the rest of this glass. But I mean, yeah, you don't want to overthink it, especially going from auto to flat. You overthink a lot of things, and I've learned that you can't overthink it. It's the process is very similar. You don't have to shrink anything, which is nice, and laying it down, as you can see, is not that difficult of a job. The more difficult part is not laying, but the cleaning process, making sure the sides are clean, making sure there's no silicone out there, cleaning out them corners, drying out the sides. That's a lot more prep time than length. I mean, he laid the glass in 2 minutes, right? But the cleaning process was 3 or 4 minutes. So it's all about being clean, about being cleanly. So hopefully that helps. What happened to the music? Oh, I turned it off. We're back right there. Boom, boom. Oh my land, there's some questions going through here. Okay. Tropical Shade Tinting said, got the dry shrink prep and love it, but would like to know how much of a coating I need to apply. First time I used it, I had a hard time because the tint wouldn't slide at all, but was completely dry. Yeah, the first time with a first time use with dry shrink prep, you need to wet it just a little bit more and kind of almost lather it up, work it up a little bit. That's the first time. After that, most of the time after that, unless you don't use it for another 3 months, which is highly unlikely, the bag will dry, but the stuff holds a little bit of moisture in there, right? Which is not a problem because it's the way it's designed. It's not going to mold or anything, right? But I did notice that the first time you need to put a little bit more on it. Let me see if I can. I had a video here. Let me see. I'm going to pull up a video here. Okay, so whoa, that's so loud. Okay, so I just released a video where I did this car today where we were doing a front windshield. I'm going to show you exactly how much we use here. Y'all ready? Hold on. I'm going to bring this volume down a little bit because it seemed a little loud. So here we go. I don't wet out a super lot. So you see how there is definitely a haze right here. That's basically what you're shooting for. Let me keep going here. You're gonna see at the very end. That's the end result afterwards. So it's visible. You can definitely see it. That's what you want. If you can't see that, then you might be using too little water. You know, if you oversaturate it, it's going to take a while for it to dry. If you don't wet it enough, it'll dry instantly, but it won't be wet enough to be able to disperse the product properly. So it's kind of like you feel it as you go, and it changes, right? Like I know this like the back of my hand in Florida here in my shop, but I was demoing dry shrink prep at the tint off, and I was using way too much water, and it was taking way too long to dry, and I'm like, Jesus, right? Because it was different, because I was in a convention center setting, and it was like 64, 65 degrees in there, or whatever it is. It was much cooler than I'm used to, right? So kind of work with it. If it sounds like you just need to use a little bit more water, work it up a little bit, and what I do is I'll spray it twice per half. I'll spray it twice with a spray bottle, and I'll swipe it across the center, and I'll just wipe, and eventually that whole area will eventually dry. Like I'm soaking up the excess, but I'm also spreading it out evenly, and it really does help. It really does help. If you guys want to keep going here. And with that, as you can see, look at this. You know, after the dry shrink prep is applied, the film just floats over. You know, but when you tack it down, there's like tack right here and here. Once you tack it down, you're good to go. So much less than a wet shrink, but the way it's supposed to be. So what it sounds like to me is that that you just didn't get wet just enough. A little bit more water, and you should probably be just fine. says it was white and very visible and prevented the tint from moving to shrink. Okay, I see. Video helps. Okay, so if it was white and you could see it, then but it wasn't letting it move, then if that's the case, then it was still wet, right? You need to let it dry. It needs to be dry. And here's the weird thing. If I do the prep on the back glass and then I leave and go do other stuff and come back and I let it dry for too long, like then I have to like lay down an H pattern because the film just moves every which way. It has to be almost 100% dry but not too dry, and that way you can lay an H pattern without getting it wet with like a towel or something like that. So it's really weird. If you let it dry out too much, then you need to like wet it down with a towel and do an H pattern so that the film can stick somewhere, because if not it'll just slide everywhere. But from what you're telling me, what it sounds like that there was enough but it wasn't dry, because if it's wet and it's moist then it's gonna stick. So rub your finger on it and you can see if you rub your finger, and I think if it rubs off clean then it's still wet because you're rubbing it off. But if you rub your finger on it and it smears versus rubs off clean, then that means it's dry, and try it at that point. Yeah. It smells great though. Yeah. It's blue cotton candy. Blue cotton candy. Blue cotton candy and our signature blue. Oh, we've been going for about an hour. Wow. It's crazy. Like I haven't even we've been going for an hour. I don't think I've gone through all the questions. Yeah, let's see here. Global. Oh no, I was really close. I was really close to the end. Oh, that was the end actually. That was the end. Never mind. Let's see here. Got about 15 people in and out. I mean, coming up to 20, down to 10, up to 15. So we're keeping it good. E-Dub West says, good to see you back up and running. Yes, that's right, baby. It's come and it's gone, right? So now I'm much more diligent in regards to the measures I take to like documenting everything, because just even remembering all the stuff I had was just it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I thank God I'm back. Oh, hungry all of a sudden. That's right. Blue cotton candy, baby. If it reminds you, it's nostalgic. It reminds you of like your childhood. All right, guys, we went through all the questions here. Yeah. For those guys that are here, do you guys like the why didn't I see that? Tropical Shade Tinting with the $5 super chat. Definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. Very kind of you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I feel like that going through the questions of the week from the YouTube channel and the Window Tinting Business Group, I think it gives me good content to discuss and talk and have some viable content during this live stream. I know Eric from Tint Wiz, he does questions, and then he does topics. I used to do the topics before, but I got really bored with them. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? I kind of like this free form, like flowy, just questions going from the straight from the chat and pulling questions from all other sources. I think that really helps. Plus, I like to stay around an hour. I don't like to go too deep for too long, right? Because I want to make sure that people get some benefit from this without getting too bored. Nice job on that Ford truck, real fast. Oh yeah. So if you guys aren't a part of it, so this is my Tuesday night live stream. This is from my home studio. So I also do a Monday live stream from my shop, and when I do that, I basically strap a GoPro to my forehead and you watch me tint a car the way I normally would. Sometimes I talk, sometimes I don't, and we just kind of go, and then I typically go through some Q&A if I have time. I go through a Q&A. I do those on Monday and I know that they're always on Monday, but I don't know what time on Monday. So that's why, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and you have to hit the bell notification so you guys are notified when I do go live, so you guys can be part of the notification squad. Because on Monday I've had them as early as 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then I've had them as late as 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm just kind of, I'm bound to whatever time the car comes in. So if you guys are into that and want to check that out, feel free, go ahead and check those out. Let's go ahead, and because we've been going on for just about an hour, I'm gonna hit the 2-minute warning right now. 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Yeah, 2-minute warning. Give me any questions you guys might have, shout outs right here, right now. We'll go over them and then we'll go ahead and close it out. So yeah, I need to get like the Jeopardy like jingle. You know what I mean? No, I don't have my phone on me. Hold on. 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm back. There's 13 people in here. Get up in that. Type on that keyboard or type on your phone. Ba, 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 ba. Let me know. I'm here for y'all. I'm here for ya. I'm trying to figure out what color I want to go with, because I don't like these bands that come through certain colors. Like there, right there. You see? Certain colors are like. Let's see. This is blue, and this is weird. That's supposed to be blue, and that looks like purple to me. Green, we can go with the money, but then it makes my skin looks weird. Red looks really aggressive. Yellow looks like nothing. Oh, we just turn it off. All natural. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe turn one off. Let me see. Let me turn this light off. Let's be mysterious. Increase it. Ooh. Very dramatic with the shade on one side. Smooth. A little more auto-tune. Let me see. I gotta work on the auto-tune because it's not quite T-Pain, but it's close. I need to do some Christmas carols. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any Christmas songs. Something. And since we no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. What do y'all think about that? Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it off at this time. I definitely appreciate you guys being with me for the last hour or so. E-Dub, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. For those of you guys that asked questions and were a part of the chat, thank you very much. For those of you guys that are watching that didn't chat it up, don't be afraid next time, baby. It's easy peasy. If you guys aren't a part of the Facebook group on Facebook, if you're not part of the group on Facebook, Window Tinting Business, go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and join it, because it is a private group, but it's a place that we can all get together and talk amongst each other as a community. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever I go live. Oh, one last question from Jaybird. Gotta answer Jaybird's question. He's my boy. You know what I mean? He's a long time. He's charter member. He says, "Hey, I was just wondering, do you wash your microfibers, and does the quality of towel matter for lint?" I wash my microfiber towels. I use my microfiber towels once, usually pretty much when they get wet or too dirty, then I stop using them. I have like 65, 70 of them at the shop. But I do get my towels from Walmart, no joke, and they work for me. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm gonna look for you. Microfiber towels. Boom. Here you go. You ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Here we go. So these ones, I think These ones are the high premium ones. Don't go for these. Don't go for these. These are the ones you want to go with. There's like blue, there's blue, there's green, and there's yellow. These platinum XO, so yeah, these ones. Look, see, blue, green, yellow. I told you, with the black border. Look, it's important that it has the black border right there. There's a 30 pack for $13. These are exactly what I use, and I love them. I love them. They have no problem with them. Do not get them confused with these ones. These are blue, green, and yellow as well, but no black edge. I don't like these ones. We got these ones by accident once. I don't like them, probably because they were $9 instead of $13. But these are solid. I wouldn't. I don't know. I feel like I feel like I'm spending too much money on like one or two super nice towels like this. I think it'd be a little too much. These are the towels that I use. These are exactly the towels I use. They're $13 for 30 of them, and they're unbelievable. Interior, exterior cleaning. The only thing is that when you first get these, you have to wash them. You have to wash them because if you go with them, they'll emit. But these ones is like a fluffy side and then like a more finer side. One side is fluffy and one side isn't. So I like to keep track of, like, one side I'll only touch the film on, and then the other side will be like the pillars. I'll wipe down the door panel, things of that nature. So I never the film side never touches anything else, and then the other side never touches the film, so I don't scratch it. That's how I make sure that I minimize scratching of the film and try to keep quality in. But yeah, that was a really good question actually. So yeah, gold class member. All right, guys, thank you very much. Definitely appreciate you guys joining us this week. Again, I'll be back next Tuesday. I'll be back Monday for the shop live stream. I'll be back on Tuesday for the studio live stream, again answering your questions. Thank you very much. And yeah, and don't forget to go on Facebook and check out Tint Wiz. The Tint Wisdom is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a quality stream, so go ahead and do that. Check them out, and then they go from 7 to about 8:30ish, and then I'm on at 9, so it's prime time for Tint. And I'm stealing that from Eric. Eric said that. I was like, Eric mentioned something about prime time for window tinters, because there's a lot of information that we rummage through and we try to help out as best we can. So last quick shout outs, thanks again to Tint Wiz, tintwiz.com. Go ahead and check it out for your free 30-day trial. Dryshrinkprep.com, the healthy alternative to dryer sheets. Go ahead and you can order or get more information at dryshrinkprep.com. Thank you guys for your sponsorships, your donations, your tips. Tropical Shade Tinting, thank you very much for the super chat. Love you. And we're gonna go ahead and end it right now. Bring back the music a little bit. Boom. Ooh. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Thank you very much, guys. We'll talk soon.